Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste, Swamiji. Srima. Namaste. We're on page 125 of the Bhagavad Gita, and we're going to begin the discussion of chapter 7. And the respected Supreme Divinity said, "Listen, O son of she who excels, Arjuna, as to how you will know me completely beyond a doubt, by taking refuge in me through the practice of union with your mind centered on me. I shall teach you that unending knowledge and wisdom, which, when understood, nothing more remains to be understood." So this is about the discussion of Gyan and Began. And many people call Began science. We call it knowledge, science, but we distinguish science from wisdom. Because science is a collection of facts, an observation of data, even the Sima data, or the all-Sima data. The data without limit. That's the Began. But the Gyan is the application of that knowledge to the circumstances of life. And the distinction between wisdom and knowledge is you use the knowledge when you have wisdom. You employ the knowledge in such a way as to bring about the fulfillment of your sankalpa and to create a greater harmony amongst all the constituent actors in the drama of your life. Wherever a man of knowledge goes, a man of wisdom goes, wherever a woman of wisdom illuminates with circumstances, she applies the appropriate knowledge for the benefit of everyone there. And then it becomes wisdom. So here he's saying, I'm going to teach you unending knowledge and wisdom. How do you use your knowledge so that it creates a greater harmony for everyone who's affected by your presence? When understood, nothing more remains to be understood. If you have this discrimination, if you have this understanding, how do you select the appropriate knowledge and apply it to this circumstance and bring everyone into your harmony? This is chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita, Began and Gyan. Among thousands of men, few strive for perfection. And even among those who strive, few know my reality. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, and ego are the 8 divisions of my nature. Remember, we had the Antakaran, comprised of Mon, Buddhi, Chit, and Ahamkar. This is the inner cause, the cause of all that's going on right now. And they are perceiving all of this creation as the prapanch, the 5 elements uniting together. We studied that in Tattva Gyan. Shiti up, tej more bo. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These are the 8 divisions of my nature. This is my lower nature, but different from it. Know my higher existence of life by which the perceivable universe is supported, O one of mighty arms, Arjuna. So my lower nature is this sthula sarir, this gross body and this subtle body. So the gross body are the 5 elements, and the subtle body is this inner cause, this antakaran. Now we're going to talk about my higher nature. O one of mighty arms. Know this to be the womb of all beings. I am the origin of the entire perceivable universe, as also the terminus as well, Adi Ant. I am the origin and the terminus. No one is higher than me, conqueror of wealth, Arjuna. Nothing greater. All this is bound by me as a necklace of gems by a string. Look at the gems that just came to the Devi Mandir, and they are bound together by a string. All of these Rudrakshas, the eyes of Rudra, Shiva is watching us every moment of every day, and they're all bound by a string. All of it is bound by me. I am the consciousness existing in every atom of creation, binding each atom to another atom, making molecules, and binding the molecules together to make substances, and binding the substances together into making forms. And then you ascribe a name to the form, and you have Nam and Rup. You have name and form, so when you see a form, you think of the name. And this becomes the relationship of the inner cause to the external phenomena. All this is bound by me as a necklace of gems by a string. I am the taste of the water, O son of who takes away the deficiency of others, Arjuna. Great name. You're the son of she who takes away the deficiency of others. The luster of the moon and the sun. I am the sound of Om in the Vedas. Let's all say Om. I am the sound of Om in the Vedas. I am the perfect nature of man. I am the pure smell of the earth and the light of the fire. I am the life of all existence and the purifying austerities of the performers of austerities. I am the seed of all beings. Know me, son of she who excels, Arjuna, as eternal. I am the intelligence of the intelligent, the light of all illumination. I am the strength of the strong without desire or passion. I am the desires and beings which do not conflict with the ideal. I'm not the impure desires. I am the desires which do not conflict with the ideal. You've all got ideals of perfection which you've established. You've defined what are your virtues, what are your morals, what does your conscience dictate as your ideal of perfection. I am the desires that do not conflict with that ideal. I am, O Lord of the descendants of the light of wisdom, Arjuna. All beings which have an attitude of Sattva, Raja, and Tamas know that they came from me, but I am not in them, they are in me. This entire perceivable universe is deluded by the attitudes of these three qualities, and they don't know me who am beyond without change. So we are all so habituated to looking at the manifestations of nature that we forget to look at the consciousness upon which nature is manifesting. We all go to the movie and we go into the theater and we're so entranced by the images reflected upon the screen that we forget that there's a screen that is reflecting the images. And we all identify with the reflected images and forget all about the screen. In the same way, we are so entranced by Maya that we forget the stage of consciousness upon which Maya is being exhibited. So this entire perceivable universe is deluded by the attitudes of the three qualities, Sattva, Raja, and Tama. And they don't know me who am beyond without change. The screen doesn't change, just the reflected images. It is really difficult to move beyond this illusion manifest by these divine qualities. Only those who take refuge in me can move beyond the illusion. Those fools who perform evil and do not take refuge in me are the lowest of men. Illusion deprives them of wisdom, and they take refuge in the attitudes of duality. Look at me! I've got to be me! I am the most important being in my universe. If I cease, my universe ceases. They forget the reality is she is the most important being in my universe. And when we remember that reality, we attach ourselves to the pure. We have satsang, we have association with truth. And then we move beyond the reflected images. We move ourselves beyond the duality, and we get to see the screen of consciousness, which is allowing the projection of all of these images. Clarity of pure devotion. 4 kinds of people worship me who perform good actions. One who is in distress, one who desires knowledge, one who desires wealth, and one who is wise. O seer among the descendants of the light of wisdom, Arjuna. Of them, the wise who are eternally united with devotion in oneness are most excellent. For I am especially beloved to the wise, as he is beloved to me. All these are surely noble, but the wise has his soul fixed in thoughts of me, for he has united his soul in me as the supreme refuge. At the end of many births, the man of wisdom enters me. God is all of this. Such a great soul is hard to find and hard to become. Those whose wisdom has been clouded by various desires enter other divinities. Whatever you desire is divine to you. That's why you desire it. That's the manifestation of divinity. This desire, when fulfilled, is going to make me more perfect. That's my God, form of God, for as long as I feel myself to be imperfect. And when I accomplish that one, I choose a new form until I find the supreme form. And that accomplishment, I don't want to move from. I don't want to change that accomplishment. Once attained, all is attained. Having followed various disciplines, they are led by their own nature. Their nature compels them. Our nature compels us to follow various desires. But one time we find the desire most pure that will be the cessation of all other desires. And I love that one the most. And my big love overshadows all the little loves. And then I forget about the importance and the significance of the little loves, and I go behind the big love.
For example, little love.
Little love, kamini kanchan.
Okay.
I have many, many little desires, kamini. And I need resources with which to fulfill all those little desires, kanchan. So it's not exactly women and gold, but it could be. But moreover, it's desires, little desires. And I need resources with which to fulfill those little desires. So now I find a pure guru. I find someone I respect, whose example I wish to emulate in my life. And I no longer need all the things of the world in order to feel good about myself. I walk through the mall and think, how many things I don't need. Can you imagine how many things they've collected which are totally useless to me? I don't walk through the mall and say, look at all this stuff, let's bring it all home. Gosh, no, where would I put it? Gotta build another ashram just for the stuff. I don't want more stuff. I've got a bigger love. I just want to follow her example, to cook like she cooks, and sing like she sings, and love like she loves, and make it manifest through every action she performs.
Did you hear today morning?
I did hear today morning. I did hear today morning. I kept looking up from my computer and saying, wow, I shouldn't be typing emails at 4 o'clock in the morning. I should be there listening to Sri Ma's worship. And then I went back and typed some more.
Vasana and upasana.
Upa-asana.
Manate sakala vasana bhagi keval Rama charananurag. That is the...
Do you like to translate?
And that is Swamiji, you have spoken out.
Oh, that's not fair. He is saying that all the desires are fulfilled when you submerge yourself in the desire for Ram.
Yeah, that is.
Is that close enough? Mm-hmm. Very good. Whatever a devotee desires to offer with faith, to whichever form he chooses, to him I grant immovable faith. Any way you want to worship me. If you want to worship me with a computer, if you want to worship me with a spoon, if you want to worship me with an axe, or if you want to worship me by chopping wood and carrying water, you could even put flowers on the altar. Any form, any way, any mantra, you're all worshiping me. It's not just that you have to say the name of Ram, although it's a very beautiful name, but you could also say the name of Mom, which is also a beautiful name. You can say Vishnu, Krishna, Rishi, Kesha, Vasudeva, Janardana. Take your pick. Any one of the names. You could choose any name of Vishnu, any name of Chandi, any name of Durga, Gauri, Uma, Parvati. How many names she has. And amongst the thousands of names, in each list of the names, in the 1,000 names of Lakshmi, you'll find the name of Saraswati. In the 1,000 names of Saraswati, you'll find the name of Kali. In the 1,000 names of Kali, you'll find the name of Shiva. In the 1,000 names of Shiva, you'll find the name Chandi. They're all one. They are various names. Ekang Shadbi Prabhakuda Bhavanti. There is one true reality which has been expressed in many ways. One true reality. So, having followed various disciplines, they are led by their own nature. Whatever a devotee desires to offer with faith, to whichever form he chooses, by which any mantra he chooses, by which any way she chooses to make that offering to him, to that devotee, I grant immovable faith. Your faith will make your actions full and complete and perfect. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. United with that faith, he engages in the satisfaction of that form, and from that form he attains fulfillment of the desire, which surely has been proclaimed by me. Whatever deity gives you whatever boon to fulfill whatever desire, know that you've worshipped the one God. There's only one of us. Just like our one mother, she wears a sari to the temple, and she wears a ball gown to the ball, and she wears a swimming suit to the swimming pool, and she... Oh, well, maybe. And she wears jeans to the bazaar, and she wears a tennis outfit to the tennis court, and but she looks differently, and we call her by different names according to the different uniforms that she wears, but she is one mother. And boy, does she look good in a bathing suit.
So stupid.
That's what happens when you become a Swami. Finite are the fruits of those with small intelligence. They look at the bathing suit and forget the bather. Those who sacrifice to the gods go to the gods. My devotees also come to me.
Right.
So if you want to worship any deity in order to get one specific fruit or one specific boon, you may get that boon, but then you got to come back again. What do you do for the next one? If you worship the supreme, the divine, the supreme divinity beyond manifestation, just for the love of worship, my devotees come to me. If you get the boon of your choice, if you pray for good health, or you pray for wealth, or you pray for a partner, or you pray to get rid of the partner, or whatever choice you're making, if you get that, then what? That's why in the Chandi we pray for devotion. We want to be eternally devoted to her so that she'll be with us in every circumstance. It doesn't matter about the boon. It doesn't matter if I have fulfilled my desire or accomplished my objective. All I want is her. So my devotees also come to me. The unknowing think of me as having come into manifestation from the unmanifest. They do not know my supreme attitude as immutable and most excellent. They think I came into manifestation. They don't remember me as the one who caused all of the manifestation. I didn't come into being when creation began. I was the one who told creation to begin. All right, on your marks, get set, go. I alone am the illuminator of this all, of the measurement of consciousness in union and all its modifications. Deluded by all this, people do not know me, the unborn and the unchanging. I know the past and the present, clarity of pure devotion, the future and all beings born, but nobody knows me. From the ignorance which arises from attraction and repulsion, O descendant of the light of wisdom, Arjuna, all beings born are controlled by ignorance from this birth, O supreme light, Arjuna. Remember, we had the 5 kanchukas. We had kal, time, niyati, space, raga, becoming, activity, vidya, knowledge, and kala, attribute. And these 5, they obscure the perception of the infinite so that we see only the finite. And then comes Purush. I'm different from Prakriti. And now we have the Samkhya philosophy. We have duality. And here we are in duality. So from this ignorance, all beings born are controlled by this ignorance from birth. O supreme light, Arjuna. Men whose sins have ended through meritorious actions are liberated from the ignorance of opposites. They constantly sing to me with intense vows. They walk to Kailash. They walk to Gomukh. They cover the earth. They do tremendous austerities with tremendous vows. And thereby they transcend all of the ignorance of duality. Those who make efforts to take refuge in me are liberated in old age and death. You're liberated. You're not liberated from old age and death. You're liberated in old age and death. They know that whole supreme divinity and the entirety of spiritual knowledge. Those who know me as the primary existence, as the highest divinity, and as the ultimate sacrifice, even at the time of leaving, they know me united with consciousness. Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Sus Saptamo Adhyaya. Now let's see if there are any questions, please. Yes, please.
Why does Krishna say that all beings are in him, but he's not in them?
Because he is the supreme, infinite, unmanifest. And if he were in them, he would be in the container. You can't put infinity into the container. You can put the quality of infinity into the container. You can put the attribute of infinity into the container. But still, infinity is too big to go into the container. So he's not in them, they are in him. The qualities that he possesses, that he exemplifies, are within them. He is in a limited scope. He is within the container. And in some containers it's more limited, and in other containers it's greater quantity. And he is in greater quantity available within these containers than he is within this container. However, he can't be, all of him can't be in every container. The quality, remember we talked about Gat Akash and Maha Akash. Gat Akash is contained space. Maha Akash is uncontained space. The infinity. Now the quality of the Gat Akash, the contained space, is the same as the uncontained space. Except there's one difference. It's defined. It has a limit. It has a sima. It has a boundary. The attribute of that space is the same, except it's defined differently. So the infinite Krishna, the infinite consciousness, is, we're calling unlimited, unbound, infinite. Infinite consciousness, the quality of infinite consciousness can go into the container. But all of the infinite consciousness can't go into the container. It's too big. The container's too small to contain all of the infinity of consciousness. So, all the containers, all the vyaktis, all the individuals are within the Supreme. But the Supreme's character, his quality, his attributes are within the individuals.
We have a question from Nanda in San Jose.
Namaste, Nandama.
What are the actions that develop immovable faith?
Swamiji, could you please answer that question? What actions develop immovable faith?
With your kind holy presence, I could say that, Swamiji, there are three centers in the human body as a whole: the head and hands and heart. And to deal with the life, then one should always be aware how to use his head as wisely as possible. And when you perform any action, it should be correlated with heart, bottom, and correlated with the top, that is head. When both the hands are being joined together, bottom, that is heart, top, that is head, the right one is the representative of the head and left one is the representative of the heart. It is when we perform any action with the consent of heart and head. So undoubtedly, because when we join together all these three aids, like when we utter the cosmic mantra called O, the three different letters are joined together, that is A, and second U, and third the Mo. when you chanted that divine Vedic mantra called Om, it is 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. So when any action being performed with the consent of the bottom and the top, that is heart and head, and then we are going to perform the action through hands. As I felt in my life, if a person jumps into any action with the consent of these two, either end, the bottom, that is the heart, the top, that is the head, and definitely that kind of gestures and postures, any action that is being performed by such devotee, definitely that when we utter the Om, it is on the top, it sounds one, but it includes all these three. At the root of letters starting from A and ending with Mo, and it is passing through the heart, that is the U. U is the representative of the Vishnu, A is the representative of the Brahma, and Mo is the representative of the Shiva. So when these three currents come together, and then with the feeling of heart and thoughts of head and action of hands becomes one, we call the Vachasa, Manasa and Karmasa. This Manakam Vachan, when joins together, and then automatically that a person becomes immovable in that trust and faith and love for God. So that is what I personally feel, the holistical approach towards that, the ultimate reality that comes from your heart and ends with the top. So when a person utters the Om, it starts with A and ends with Mo, and it resounds and brings that as if you are going to shake the universe, and the energy is rising from bottom to top. And when it really ends with that phonetic sound of Mo, that it is the fulfillment, like the lotus coming from the mud and passing through the water and playing in the air. All this, then you are well established in that universal love of God. Then it is but natural, no more the chances of can draw your attention from the Om symbolic, that is you are well settled there in the Rudra, the Shiva, the universal Lord of the universe, and that is the Guru of the universe. So that is what I personally feel when I go to the Kailash, that I feel that I am representing this body and mind and merging with that ultimate aim, that ultimate God of the universe. That actually unites me, and it makes me feel that me as a human body being immersed in that oceanic bliss of Lord Shiva, and that gives me untold kind of expression which no amount of the intellect of the human body and mind could really put them into words. So that is what I personally feel, with the consent of heart and head. If a person is in a frame of mind to give a command to the hand and then performs any actions, that will definitely help a person to remain as immovable faith and trust and love for God. Oh.
Srima, would you like to add any other suggestion? Prashna chilo kikura immovable shraddha, chirastai shraddha vishwas palin korigo, kikura rat stapan korigo. Mother says sadhana. And I would like to add one word to Swami's excellent commentary: remembrance. Nandama, if we can remembrance, if we can remember our lakshya, our goal, our objective, why are we doing what we are doing? What is the purpose of this? Every action has a purpose. And if we can remember that purpose, we can cultivate that immovable faith, that unshakable faith, that vishwas shraddha, If I know all the time why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I can remember that, then I have faith. I know I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm in love. And I want to act like a lover.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing. All you need is love. The main thing is all you need is love. Nandama, if we can remember that I am a lover, and I am so privileged to be in love, then what I do from morning till night and from night until morning is just make love. All I want to do is be in love all the time. So what am I going to do in order to demonstrate the sincerity of my love? I'm going to wash your dishes. I'm going to cut your grass. I'm going to chop wood, carry water, make a website, write a book. I'm going to do put flowers on the altar. Whatever I do, if I can remember, I'm in love. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I'm in love.
Yes.
Remembrance. And if you could just turn on that little switch, your little love button, I've got some love handles. You just have a button there. Nanda just...
I don't think so, dear. Here.
You designed these things, Mom. You would know better. You've got the plans at home. I just surmise that the switch is here, but you've got it here. Okay, wherever your switch is, Nanda, I'm not going to tell you about that. I'm not going to go in to tell you where your switch is, but turn it on. Turn yourself on to the remembrance and the privilege of being in love with every single thing you do, and you will cultivate that immovable faith. You will cultivate that immovable faith. It doesn't have to be I'm in love with someone or something. I'm just in love. That remembrance is going to help you cultivate that faith. Yes, please.
Verse 16 mentions the 4 types of desire.
Yes.
Could you talk about the different fruits of those attainments, desires through wisdom and?
Well, we tell the story a little bit differently. I have a bone to pick with Krishna. We say there are 4 kinds of lovers of God. 4 people who love God. And if you'll listen to my version of the story rather than what I translated, we would say that people of physical pain call upon God, give me an end to pain. People of mental anguish call upon God and say, take away my daridra, take away my anguish, give me peace. Lovers come to God and say, please solemnize our relationship. Make us be in love all our lives together. Make our families strong and united. And wise people come to God and say, I just want you. Now, the 4 types of lovers of God, of the 4, the people who are in physical pain, when they find a cure for their pain, the pain goes away and so does the devotee. People who are in mental anguish, when they find a solution to their problem, the problem goes away and so does the devotee. We call this Jabardrishti Bhakti. You've got an agenda. I will love you in exchange for, all right, God, if you really want me to believe in you, pay up. We have a lot. So many people come to the mandir and they say, if I win the lottery, I'm going to make a donation to the mandir.
Yeah, we want that.
No, we want them first to make the donation and then win the lottery. But the wise, those who are really on fire with the light of wisdom and they are passionate about loving God, they just want to love God because she's God. And they just want to surrender, not because it's the last thing that you have to do, it's the last thing you can do, you have no other alternative. I surrender, don't shoot. My back is against the wall. In Sanskrit, Our surrender is called samarpan. And sama means equilibrium, and arpan means to offer. And I offer myself in equilibrium. It's the first thing that we want to do. The wise will want to offer themselves in equilibrium. It's not the surrender in English. Oh, I have no other alternative. I surrender. I put myself at your mercy. No. It's, I put myself at your mercy. Give me your kripa. I have been doing and now I get. And what I get is the privilege to be a tool in the hands of a master craftsman. I am the tool, you are the craftsman. I am the car, you are the driver.
I'm not driver.
Oh, yes, you are. Shokuli tumaricha. You are the driver. I have the license, that's okay. The goal is to love her like the wise do. Not this jabardrishti bhakti, I'm going to get something in exchange for my devotion. I'm going to give you my prayers and you're going to give me the winning of the lottery, or you're going to give me wealth or health or peace. No, I just want to worship you because that's the best thing I can do in this life so long as I have a body. Those are the four that we understand. So we stretched his definitions a little bit because he said four kinds of people. One who is in distress, okay, that's close. Daridra, mental anguish. One who desires knowledge, a little bit. One who desires wealth, that's true. And the wise. We put it differently. We say the person of physical pain, the person of mental anguish, lovers, and wise people. Those are the four kinds of devotees that come to the Guru. Those are the four that come to God.
We have a question from Ramya.
Namaste, Rami Mami. Namaste, Srini Baba.
The higher and lower nature of Krishna tells us, how can we understand it in relation to Vedanta, Tantra, and Sankhya philosophy? Is the higher nature Divine Mother and Brahman? And what is the higher nature in Sankhya philosophy?
The higher nature in Sankhya philosophy, of course, we're going beyond the 24 principles of the five gross elements and the five organs of action, the five organs of knowledge, the five gross elements, and the five tanmatras or perceptions inside, being rase, rupe, chikantecha, sabde, sparsha, yogini. Those ras, rup, sabda, sparsha, ganda. Those five tanmatras, those are the first 20, and then the antkaran, which is mon, buddhi, chitta, and ahamkar. Those are the 24 principles. So now we go beyond Sankhya into Prakriti. That's the embodiment of Prakriti. Now, who am I? I'm not the Prakriti. Prakriti is perceived by Purush, and this discrimination is Sankhya philosophy, Rami. So now we're going to, the higher nature is the mother of Vedanta. Remember in our Kadi Vidya, we have Ka-e illa Hrim. That's the Rim, the Maya of Vedanta. Hasaka hala Rim. That's the Maya of Sankhya. Of Tantra, and Sakalarim, that's the Maya of Sankhya. So the Maya of Sankhya says this is the illusion which obscures the reality. The Maya of Tantra says this is the one mother blessing the entire creation. And the Maya of Vedanta says there's only one. She's everywhere. Everywhere. And if she's everywhere, she's the one consciousness in union with herself. So that's the higher nature of Krishna. The one consciousness in union with herself. And the lower nature of Krishna is Krishna as the divine being who blesses the entire creation. All of this has manifested from him. And all of this is trying or striving to to move back towards Him. And that's our lower nature, the Sthul Sharir and Shukshma Sharir. And the Karan Sharir, that's the higher nature.
We have a question from Usha.
Namaste, Ushama.
Namaste, Swamiji. Could you please speak a little bit about the discrimination of neti neti and the realization of iti iti of verse 19 and 20 in the application of these attitudes?
Yeah, Swamiji, would you like to talk about neti neti and iti iti? You are the great talker. You could talk about this until all night long.
So Mausha, with all of my heart, with all of my humility, I bow down to that part of divinity. These are the Vedic terminology of the essence of our the philosophy of life, neti and iti. Because the Leela of God is unending. So with that aspect it is neti, there is no end to it. I could say that the version of Lord Shiva, this kind of question of Lord Shiva by Parvati, it is quoting from Ramayana. So the Lord Shiva says, Leela Ram ke saguna bhavani, tarike na jai buddhi manavani. We human beings are having the three in the tiny instruments are namely, we come to the conclusion with the help of buddhi, that is intellect, man, that is mind, and the third is the utterance by words, So this is the ultimate realization of our Guru of the universe, the Master of the universe, that is Shiva. And this question had come from the Shraddha, the Parvati, and the embodiment of knowledge of the universe and Master of the universe is answering this question, that neti has nothing comes to an end. It is ever present at any time, at any place. For that we have to develop that kind of insight. Abhyakta deni bhutani vyakta madhyani bharatah abhyakta nidhanani tatra ka parivedana. This is the message of Gita from Lord Sri Krishna. And so is the Master of the Masters, Lord Shiva. He says, the Leela that we start, that span of life we start when we descend, come out of the womb of mother, descend the Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is the mother and the father is the sky. The below is mother, above is the sky. In between, neither the mother has its own end, nor that sky has its own end. So it is neti. Whatever we gain in the form of knowledge, the ultimate knowledge, it is limitless. So that is the reason for which the Vedas are the highest authority to speak out the truth. And they have spoken in many ways, but still the things remains as if we have not spoken an iota of it. That is the beauty of the expression of the ultimate Master of the universe, that is Lord Shiva. He says, Ramo tarik buddhi manavani mati hamar yasunahu bhavani. Ramo tarik buddhi manavani mati hamar yasunahu bhavani. The Bhavani that creates the universe, the Prakriti. Whatever within the Prakriti, Prakriti can't bind the ultimate truth. It can contains, but it remains boundless. So the ultimate truth, that is what our great master in the present scenario, just little before, that we all are sitting in the holy presence of Sri Ma and our Swamiji, that he had translated the version of Lord Krishna in the form of the you can say commentary on Gita. But he knows that his words, the vocabulary has its own limit to speak out the essence. But again, it is God makes him an instrument of his hands. Then he has written, he has spoken, and he will keep on speaking till he breathes last. But still, the essence will remain intact as it is. Purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnam nirchate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vasishyate. Whatever he speaks is not partially truth. It is the essence of holistical truth as it is, whole. But still, when you take something from the whole, for an expression you can say that you are taking the little, the bit of it, but still you are in a way you are taking the whole. Like we call the sagar in gagar. Gagar, the jar, the container, and sagar, the vast ocean. When you take a drop of water into the jar, you are taking the whole of it, all the essential truth. When Swami speaks, he speaks from the bottom of his depth of his knowledge that carries that reality, that divinity, that sanctity, that piety, that integrity, that honesty, that holistical aspect of God. But it looks apparently as tiny as possible, but still it contains the vastness of the ocean. So, neti, that is, you as an individual, when you have tried the best, but still the ultimate knowledge will tell you there is no end to it. So, neti. Neti.
Namaste. Usha, can I add just a little bit to Swami's beautiful explanation? Iti means this, and iti means prakriti. Kri, iti, prakriti. Pra means before, kri means becoming, iti, this, prakriti. Now, na iti means it's not prakriti. It's neti. Na iti means it's not prakriti. If it's not prakriti, it's purush. Now, neti is purush. Becoming iti prakriti. And this purush and prakriti come together and they make iti.
India neti.
Iti and iti. So here you have just what you're seeking. The union of Purush and Prakriti, Usha, that makes this divine creation. Everything that we perceive is iti, and the perceiver is Purush. Puru Usha, iti Purusha. You are the Usha. And you are the pura, full, complete, and perfect cause of perception. The Purush is perceiving the Prakriti. Iti, niti. Namaste. Excuse me, sorry.
It's okay,
Moja.
it is simplified.
Moja.
We have a question from Srini.
Srini Baba, namaste.
What is the difference between sacrifice to the gods and devotion to the God? And devotion to God? Is Lord Krishna suggesting that the latter is superior? This is from verse 23.
Yes, he is suggesting that the latter is superior. Because when we have a desire, we come to a specific god or goddess to fulfill that desire. Every individual form of God has a specific name that corresponds to the form. So we come to Saraswati for knowledge, and we come to Lakshmi for wealth, we come to Brahma for creative capacity, we come to Vishnu for protection, we come to Kali to take away the darkness, we come to Gauri to illuminate the light, we come to every single form of God with a specific purpose until we come to Nirakar, which is Sat Chit Ananda. And we have no other agenda than to surrender to God, which is a little bit different. Remember the story of the three thieves? And Tamaguna said, this victim is of no use to us, let's kill him. And Rajaguna said, that's not necessary, let's just bind him to the sansar, throw him in a ditch. And that's what they did. And then Sattva-guna came and said, oh, you poor victim, I'm going to bandage your wounds, put you on my horse, lead you to the highway. And the victim got to the highway. He said, you've been so kind to me. Why don't you come to my house? And Sattva-guna said, if I go to your house, the police are going to ask me why I was with the thieves in the first place. I will surely be arrested. Not even Sattva can go into the house of Nirakar. You have to become Nirgun.
Yeah.
So long as you are praying to any bhakti, any form, any individual form of God, you are praying for purification in one way or another way. Until you begin to pray to Nirakar. And then you just pray Sat Chit Ananda. Namaste, Shri.
We have a question from Julia.
Namaste, Julia Ma.
Why would we separate out the lovers and the wise ones? Being passionate love with Ma and you, doing our best to please you in all we do, isn't that also being wise? And being wise is our love?
Yes, it is. Yes, and when I say lovers, I'm not talking about lovers of God and Guru. I'm talking about lovers of something a little less permanent. Lovers who want a license to do something that they wouldn't do otherwise, or may not do otherwise. So, Julia, the love of God and the love of Guru, these are the actions, the loves of a wise one. But the love of John, Dick, or Harry, that may not be the wisest application of your talent and your skills and your love. So it will need a little bit more discrimination there. But the love of Srimad, the love of Guruji, every love of every Guru, God, and divinity in itself is certainly the love of a wise person. I was talking about romantic love, which may not become romantic in the future.
We have another question from Nanda.
Yes, Nandama?
What is the difference between liberated in life versus liberated in death? Thank you.
Nandama, if you are liberated in life, you are free in action. That is, every action you perform, you have that remembrance with you, you have that wisdom with you, the action doesn't bind you, you are not attached to the fruits of the action, you just want to manifest your love. And you get to do so. And when you're liberated, when you're not in life, you're liberated in death, that means you're not acting. So you don't get the opportunity to make that love manifest. You just wait your turn to become manifest again, and then you get the opportunity to make your love manifest. So strive for liberation while we still have life. Don't think that it'll happen to me after I die. Think that'll happen to me right now. I can be free and liberated just because I'm in love.
When we are bound, that means death.
That's very good, Mahamari. The great death is being bound while we're alive, and the great freedom is being liberated while living. Remember, Janak was called Videho. He didn't even have a body. He had no attachment to his body. He walked around in a body. He carried the body. He was the wearer of the body. But he was liberated while living because every decision he made was on behalf of all of his community. He guided his community like a father to his children. And that's why they called him Videho. He was liberated while living. while others strive to become liberated from living. And that doesn't really work, because there's not a lot you can do once you're dead. You gotta wait until you come back again so you can do it over. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.
Gita